What I would say is that irrelevant of offshore wind, grid infrastructure needs to be upgraded in the UK. So it's got to happen.
So, Richard, what's the state of the market? What are we looking at?
So I think it's exciting times right now in offshore in general. We've had a really big AR7 result, lots of projects coming forward. We've got a lot under construction at the moment in the offshore space, and AR8 promises to be another big push for offshore in general in the UK. And great news yesterday with the announcement that 20% of last year's electricity came from offshore wind. So really good space for offshore wind in general. Floating, we are growing at the moment. We're seeing the demonstrators coming through. ScotWind's doing great things. Consent applications are going in, and we're really setting ourselves up for taking these big commercial scale projects through CFDs and into construction at the tail end of this decade.
And so, digging into what's Nadara doing? What's on the horizon for you?
So we're exclusively floating. We're the largest floating wind developer now in the UK with the acquisition of our partners' shares in our projects. And we're really driving full speed on Bell Rock project, 1.8 gigawatts off the east coast of Scotland. Consent application is in and targeting a CFD as soon as we can realistically get one away.
And so what's the bottlenecks? What are the challenges that you're facing?
Well, I think there are a number of challenges, and I don't think we should they're talked about a lot. Obviously, we've got some challenges around turbine supply, but we're engaged well with DESNZ at the moment on this front. I think they are acutely aware of the challenges of turbine supply right across the industry, not just exclusively in floating. Obviously, there are challenges around grid connection capacity, but again, I think the conversations are going well. I think the reality is that it's a nascent technology, and we need some clear guidance from government and support from government that they're going to see us all the way through this journey. And to be fair, that's the messages we're getting right now, but I think from a shareholder perspective, we really need to see that come into fruition. And if we've got that certainty, then I think there's a really good and robust set of developers in the floating space now that will be able to see those projects through.
And I suppose that we've seen a progress in the grid connection queue.
Yeah.
Are we moving in the right direction? Are we going to start seeing some progress?
Well, yeah. I think in reality, the proof will be in the pudding. At the moment, the talk is good. The process is ongoing. I think government is seeing where those challenges are and trying to address them through the Energy Independence Bill. But you've still got to get projects consented onshore. That traditionally is a very challenging space to be in. And then you've got to construct it, and it's significant grid infrastructure upgrades. What I would say is that irrelevant of offshore wind, grid infrastructure needs to be upgraded in the UK. So it's got to happen irrelevant. We're obviously beneficiaries of it, but with that in mind, government is driven to do that anyway. So again, yes, could it be faster? Absolutely. Would it be nice to see it happening faster? Absolutely. But at the moment, I think where we see what government is saying and the messages we're giving and the drive from the networks companies is that it will come.
And just finally, how does the UK stack up internationally, right? Competing for capital, for projects, how do we look?
So incredibly strongly. I mean, the UK is the place to invest in offshore wind. I think it's got the strongest market by some way. We've got a really mature set of operational assets. We've got a really mature process of CFD and route to market that shareholders buy into. You can look in many other countries and they've stumbled. We had our stumble at AR5, but you see now in a lot of Northern Europe, Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, etc., Denmark, they're struggling to work out what their route to market is. And then projects in the Far East, again, they're just not on the size and scale that we have here. So the UK has a process. It's believed in, it's delivered, and that effectively makes us the lead player for investing money in offshore wind. Across the rest of industry, well, therein lies some challenges because, offshore wind is not the only place that people put their capital, but it has proven to be successful. I think AR7 showed really good progress in that, and AR8 should absolutely do the same thing.